long time, well known as well. There's other organizations like SD Bullion as well. So have a look around and see for yourself, as well as there's dealers where you are. You know, you can pop into your local dealer, have a chat with them, and you know, maybe they'll show you some gold and silver coins, for example, or you may need to make an appointment. You know, if they're a bullion dealer, for example, they may need you to make an appointment, so they spend time with you by themselves and you're in a locked room that is secure, for example. So what I want to say to you is, I would love for you to join my gold and silver wealth community, and let's grow together. So don't wait for the media to tell you what's coming. Plan it now. Don't wait for that danger sign. The signs are there. Stack smart, stay ready, because the next financial shift will reward those who are prepared, not scared. Comment below if you are stacking silver or gold for retirement, because I'd love to hear from you. Because at the end of the day, we're in this together, and we have got so much that we can do right now with the price being as low as it is at the moment, for silver that is. Gold, I know, is 3,000, over 3,000, but there's also some gold mining stocks as well, and I'm going to talk about that in another video. But some of them are as low as, you know, like $8 an ounce, but it has to be a reputable mining company, for example. And this one is in the States, but I'll mention that on another video, for example. I just really want us to be more aware and to grow financially by knowing how much gold and silver that you need a year in order to live comfortably. And I'm not saying that you buy it and you spend it straight away. You use it, you keep building and compounding and growing it, and then when you do need it, it will be there for you. And boy, will you be. I know a lot of people that's been doing this for like 10 years, and they've made quite a comfortable living from it. And imagine if you do this for 10 years, then you're able to then put down, depends how old you are really, but you'll be able to put money down on a house, or even have a very comfortable pension where you can go on holiday, where you can treat yourself and your family. You can pay for a loved one for, you know, university, for example. There's lots of things that you'll be able to do with gold and silver. And like I said, silver is $33 an ounce, whereas gold is 3,300, for example. I've got it in the description here, but this really is the time to buy. Even if you can't afford to buy an ounce of gold, then look at buying a quarter ounce of gold, where it's like $700, $800, for example, as opposed to 3,300, for example, for 1 ounce. Buy, you know, save up for, even if it's a couple of months, then buy a piece of gold, you know, a quarter ounce of gold, for example, for $800 as opposed to 3,300. So there's lots of ways, because you don't necessarily have to buy an ounce of a coin, for example. You can buy them in quarters, for example. So whatever it is that you can afford, that's what I would highly recommend that you do. And sit down and write out what your cost of living is right now, for example, and see what you've got left over each month comfortably. And if it allows you to buy silver then you buy silver, for example. You don't want to go out and get a credit card or loan or anything like, well, I think it's going to be very hard to do that right now anyway, but you don't want to go out and do that. You want to see what you've got left over, and if you've got $33 or $35 a month, for example, then you buy silver. You buy a silver coin, for example. If you've got left over $800 a month, for example, then buy a gold quarter-ounce coin. So 1 month you buy silver, 1 month you buy gold, 1 month you buy silver, 1 month you buy gold. So you just keep alternating so that you've got a 50-50 ratio, for example, of gold and silver, and do that for 5 years plus, because as the price goes up, then that is going up as well. For example, your savings in gold and silver is going up. And remember, I've told you about the different acts that happened in 1933, for example, which it shouldn't happen again. But I wanted to make you aware of that people actually had to give their gold back to the government so the government could pay off its debts. We don't want to be in that situation. That's why it's good to hold the gold and silver yourself physically in your hand. That's why the governments, the central banks, Fort Knox, the New York reserves, for example, they've all asked for their gold and silver back from the UK, from Lima, for example, because they want to have it in their possessions due to the fact that they have to wait months, and some have had to wait like 6 months or possibly a year, for example. But before there was the currency, it was coins that people were using. It was gold and silver. And like I said, there's a pattern, history repeating itself in many ways, and the science is here. So start stacking today if you haven't started already, and build your wealth plan. I've got a PDF here and I'd love for you to use it, because I just want to get everyone thinking. I'm not a financial advisor, like I said, but I am a woman that is interested in gold and silver, because I used to do scrap gold parties in 2007, and I know that it works. I know that it increases in value. So I hope you'll be able to join me for the next live, and I hope that you've enjoyed today's live as well. And thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, but also thank you for liking the videos as well as commenting. If you've got any questions, I will answer them the way that I know how to answer them. But like I said, I'm not a financial expert. I'm just someone who's been around for a long time and knows about these things. There's so many different ways to diversify your money, building wealth by diversifying, because the digital space is getting a bit can be a bit risky. But with gold and silver coins, physically having this in your hand, this is the ultimate feeling that you could ever have. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to discussing more gold and silver wealth building strategies. And if you are planning for your retirement, then now is the time to do it. Because like I said, we don't know what we're going to get when it comes time to retirement. So the best way that we can do this is by looking out for ourselves. All right, so thank you everyone for being here, and I will speak with you tomorrow. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.